Hello, good evening, good
No, good
morning,
morning,
good
good afternoon,
afternoon.
and
A,
good
yeah, a
evening.
great day to everyone, and we want to welcome you once again to our Turo Live, your parenting resource
Your
for
online resource for
parenting
parenting insights and inspiration.
inspirations. Yes. So I'm your host for tonight, Marvin Agustin, and together with me, my lovely and beautiful wife.
Josephine Agustin. Hello, good evening, good day, everybody. Kamusta?
Yes. It's been a very wonderful week for us. You know why?
Why? Of course, I know why.
it,
Yes, it has been our birthday week.
it's our birthday week, and we started from my birthday or even earlier. I was greeted from New Zealand, then Asia, Philippines, Singapore, and Asia, and then it traveled across Europe, and then nag-end siya sa California. So I felt so special.
So it's like your birthday was, spanned 3 days. Is
Yes,
it
and
3 days?
then after that ended, your birthday started.
Yeah.
So it was really special, so special. I felt so loved and connected to so many people. So thank you so much for all those who greeted me and Jopai. We really love and um, appreciate your greetings and your friendship and everything. Yes.
Yes. Welcome to our session for today. It's called Creating Joy, Jumpstarting Growth
Yes.
Mindset.
How did we arrive in this
Well, it's
session?
because in order to have joy, joy is deeper than being happy, because happy is just like momentarily. It's a feeling that you have, given a certain how do you say it, a certain experience. But with joy, it's something deeper. It comes from your heart. That
Yes.
regardless whatever you face, you know that it stems from something that cannot be easily taken away from you. That's what how I
Yes.
define
Yes.
joy.
Creating
And
joy.
so having a growth mindset helps us to focus on the things that will bring us joy. And we need that in parenting.
Yes. Do you remember what we discussed last week? Because it was really high. It was really engaging. We were engaged with a lot of viewers, and we were so happy that at the end of that session, actually that week, I always catch myself: is this a fixed mindset or a growth mindset?
Yeah.
What about, did you experience that after?
Yes, and we were checking on each other. Oh,
Yes.
that's a growth
Yeah.
mindset. That's a fixed mindset. Let's go towards our
Yes.
work towards our growth mindset. So, how has your week been? We'd like to hear from you. Did our session last week help you? How did it help you? If you can type it in the chat box. What fixed mindset have you recognized? Because that's the first step. Recognize your fixed mindset, boys. So, during the course of the week, what fixed mindset have voice have you recognized in your life? And if you have, if you can share also, how has it changed? How have you
Yes.
changed it towards making it into a growth mindset?
Because they have a choice. You can
We have a
choose.
choice. We have
We
a
can
choice.
choose whether to keep on thinking about a fixed growth mindset, a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. Yon. I even shared this to our son Paolo
Mhm.
when we were outside, and we were talking about basketball, and he said, I'm still learning. I cannot do this." And then I shared to him our program about fixed mindset. I said, you know what? That's what we call fixed mindset, and I have to explain it to him. And it was good because he was listening. And then I said, you have a choice. It's like a session already with Paolo. You have
A
a
two-hour
choice.
session.
So what do you think is your choice? What's the opposite of that fixed mindset? That's positive. So that's the growth mindset. So I explained it to him and to Nicolo. So that's why the week was really amazing. And tonight, I think since we're continuing this growth mindset discussion, it will be equally or even more amazing because we have invited someone so dear to us. But even if
Yes.
we're not that related to each other, probably I'll be still inspired if I meet her somewhere, right? So I want to introduce to you our guest for tonight. All I can say is that ninang namin siya sa kasal. I have I will tell you what she's doing, what she has done, but first and foremost, she is our ninang, and it means so much to us, a couple and as a family, because she has guided our family. Whenever we encounter crossroads, we seek her wisdom
Advice
and
and counsel.
advice, and then she would tell us something, and it's not necessarily something that we like to hear, because she will challenge us, and that challenge with a smiling face, it gave us encouragement actually, and lakas ng loob. How do you say that? Lakas ng loob.
Courage. Bravery.
Courage. Brave, being brave, and then
Makes us brave.
she's the one of the people we sought when we wanted to come over here in the States, and yeah, we listened to her. So our guest for tonight is no other than Tina Di Chico. Tina Di Chico is a co-founder of two travel tech companies, and she led the founding team of two airlines and managed commercial and marketing at Lufthansa and IHG. She has diverse experience in growing B2B and B2C early and mid-stage companies, driving market growth and expansion in Southeast Asia, Hong Kong, and Macau. And wherever she is, pinupuntahan namin yan. Ngayon, sana kami ang puntahan niya.
Well, it's good we can do it virtually.
Yes, now at least it's virtual. Tina has led finance, grown and sold web-focused startups, and currently she leads Avaya, a management and consulting and investment company. You want to continue?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
You do
Tina
it.
is passionate about aviation and tourism. She was in the leadership of Viva Macau, the locals cost carrier that challenged Macau's national airline 25-year aviation monopoly. And at Air One, Philippines, the first commercial seaplane operation in the Philippines. She also helped iQuest Corporation.
Which you
That's
were
where
a
I
part
met
of.
her. She was my former boss. Hindi siya terror, but she's strict, but matutuwa ka that she's guiding you. And I learned so much from him. I gained my
From her.
confidence
From
from her.
her.
And I gained my confidence and direction in my career because of her. Ayon. So, ano pa ba? Tina is a mentor at the German accelerator startup SG,
SG.
Enterprise SG, and New York University Alumni Singapore. She also is a board member of ASKI Global, a nonprofit devoted to financial literacy and entrepreneurship for overseas foreign workers, and a member of Manila Angel Investors Network and Keiretsu Forum. She speaks frequently on women leadership, entrepreneurship, mentorship, and economic empowerment. Grabe, pwede pa natin dagdagan eh, di ba?
Oo.
You want to add more? Okay, so
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah, aside from that, we've heard her speak about, life and living a life of value, and that is based on Christian values as well. So that's why we invited her today.
yes.
Yeah, to
So
give us
let's
wisdom.
yeah. So we welcome and let's welcome Miss Tina Di Chico. There you
Good,
go. Hello. Hello, Tina.
good morning, everybody, or good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Because I heard that there are uh, many people listening to you at different time zones, and it's such a wonderful blessing to gather together, even we're in different places, and listen to words of wisdom that are being shared by both of you who are like guru in family matters. Thank you very much. um, but
We beg to disagree that we are gurus. We'd rather say we are people who are docile, meaning
Wow,
we,
docile.
we are
Saint
very
Joseph.
teachable. Yes, because we were learning about we're undergoing a program about consecrating our family to Saint Joseph. Our friends invited us to do that, and we learned that Saint Joseph is a docile person, meaning that he's teachable, and so we'd like to consider ourselves as teachable people, parents, that we don't know the answers, but we do seek them. And as we journey to seek the answers by talking to people like you, we share the learnings with others. Yeah, and we get
Yes.
insights
You
and we
know,
share it.
our
But
experience.
guru, how we wish to be gurus. Maybe that's like a future
Our
for
vision for
our
ourselves.
growth mindset goal.
Yes. So
But
Yeah,
thank
yeah, but I'd like to pick up on the Saint Joseph that you mentioned, right? And thank first of all, thank you for the generous introduction. I think what I wanted to say really is what is my relationship to you guys, and that is something that's very important in my life. So talking about Saint Joseph. How I met Marvin, and this is a story that I keep on telling, repeating over and over again with people I work with or people just over dinner. Um, Marvin worked with us for an IT startup, and his job was to get the contract for the major telecom company in the Philippines, and we really needed that contract. So I told him, Marvin, you need this contract. You're not coming back to the office until you have this contract. And the guy took it literally. He actually he actually, I think he slept at the building until he got the contract. And the next day or 2 days later, when he hasn't showed up in the office, and I thought he slept in that company overnight, he came back with a contract. And I think, oh my gosh, that was just a joke that you don't come back without the contract. But he took it seriously. So and that's what I thought is somebody that I would like to emulate or be inspired with. He knew what he needed to do, and he did everything that needed to be done to get that done and to get that accomplished. And that's so much dedication, hard work, and perseverance in that. He didn't give up. People were not answering his calls. People were sending him out of the office, but he didn't give up. He had a goal, he had a mission, and he delivered it. And that did something for the company. It turned around many of the things that we did. And I'm grateful for Marvin for that. But most of all, I'm grateful for the inspiration that he gave to me personally and to the people in the company. It's a story that kept on repeating in our company. Like, can you do a Marvin? Can you do a Marvin? So my question to you guys is, can you do a Marvin?
you.
we have Polo and Nicolo. My experience with Tina, she's saying that I did that, but actually my experience with her is this growth mindset. It's not something new that you just learn, because when I joined the company at that time, probably I felt so limited. I felt I cannot do this. I felt unsure of. I'm not sure about myself, with low self-esteem and confidence. I don't know if Tina recognized that or saw that. But every time I talk to her, she would tell a mission or that kind of target,
Task.
and I don't feel threatened, or I don't feel intimidated, but rather I'm inspired because she believed in me. So she fixed my mindset. That fixed mindset turned into a growth mindset, that she's trusting me.
Mhm.
And when someone trusts me, like you, when you trusted me, I married you.
Yeah.
So when somebody trusts me, I know it's worth it to just give your best, because it's not for just for the company, but it's for myself. And I really learned so much. So this growth mindset that we're discussing, I really experience it. And every time I think about Tina, I think that's when I really experience and encounter this growth mindset, that you should not be thinking like that. You're a great person, Marvin. You can do that. So every time I go to a sales call, I'll feel like on fire now, and my boss is just there with me. So yon.
It sounds like a lesson in itself, your story. I mean, the story between you, Marvin, and Ninang Tina, and our guest Tina, is that in order for one to have a growth mindset and to continue pursuing it, one thing that is key is, confidence, and confidence that one gives to another to say that you can do it. So, right? Like
Yes,
to
yes.
summarize your story, that's my key takeaway already. Confidence in the person, confidence and trust in yourself, and if the person doesn't have it, you can give it to him or her. And therefore
Yes.
that sets them in the right direction towards having a growth mindset.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the gift to give it to others as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
And I think, yeah,
go ahead.
but I think to your point, what is also important is why are you doing it, right? What is your mission? Why are you in this place? So I think with a growth mindset, it's important to know the purpose of what you're doing. What is the fundamental concern that you're addressing? And I think we had this kind of conversation before that sometimes it's very easy to get into the flow of things, but if you know what your mission is, um, what are you driving for, then it's easier for you to tread on, to go to that growth mindset. And when I talk about fundamental concern, these are the values, the virtues that you have, that you hold dear. It's in your DNA, but it grows as you grow as well, right? So for example, maybe when you were younger, your fundamental concern was financial independence or intellectual enhancement. But as you grow old, or as you grow into your journey, your fundamental concerns change. Like the fundamental concern that you will have later on, probably or now, is leadership or legacy or something like that. But in a growth mindset, I think it's very important to have a purpose. Just as an example, when the boys, my kids who are now 25 and 23 years old, and I'm so proud of who they are. When they were growing up, my fundamental concern was leadership for my children. My mission was to make them leaders and contributors of the society. So everything I did was focused on that one. Now in a way that I have set them into something. They have education. They're going to work, and they've grown to be contributing, caring, and loving people in the society. Then the fundamental concern has evolved, and it becomes legacy. So what am I doing to the world? I mean, it sounds so big, but I think deep inside us we have that compulsion to do something for everybody in the world, and the world can be the community that you're working in, the community that you have right now. You're doing something great for them, and but what I'm trying to say is, I think with a growth mindset, it's important to know what is your fundamental concern, and that is a fundamental concern that changes according to your life stage or to the journey that you are in. That's it.
Start with your purpose and your fundamental concern.
Yes. The why. Why are you doing this?
Right.
Yeah.
We like to, because we know that you are that's very beautiful. We know that you are a speaker. You speak on women leadership, you speak on entrepreneurship, and you're a mentor. So we'd like to know, how do you impart, how do you guide people towards having a growth mindset in business? Like, do you have like a key statement? I guess that's it. Know your fundamental purpose. But aside from that, like, what are the common things that are the one big message that you think, the people that come to you, or the people that you guide in business, would need to have a growth mindset and therefore be successful in that fundamental concern?
Yes.
In that
And we
moment.
should take notes.
Yes.
So I go back to the fundamental concern. Why are you doing this, and what is it to you and to the world, right? If let's get closer to home, why am I sitting here before you and speaking about this? The fundamental concern that I'm addressing right now is family and friends. I would like to honor what you are doing, Marvin and Joe Pai. And so whatever time I have, whatever I have, I will carve a time and place for you, because I honor our friendship and us being family. That's one. And the second fundamental concern is, I want to share the experiences that have helped me, in the hope that it will spark something in the minds of others. When Marvin was talking about the things that I told him, I wasn't conscious about it. It's just that I saw someone who has a great potential, and I just kept on telling him, You can do it. There is nothing that should stop you from doing it." And whatever you need to do, we are here as a company to support you, and I am here as your boss to support you. So just do it. So one is, yeah, know why you're doing it. And it goes deep, really deep inside you. And I think what would help is, write three fundamental concerns that you have. So one could be faith. So everything that you do revolves around your faith. Two is family and friends. And three is leadership. So it can be whatever leadership it is, but virtues, values that are very important to you. Start with three, and always go back. So I am going to have coffee with Jopai tomorrow. What is the fundamental concern I'm addressing, right? And that helps you also streamline what you're doing. So it helps you focus, and also not be pulled into different directions and do things that will not support your fundamental concern or your mission in life, because you've already crafted that, and you know that's how you're going to contribute to other people and to the world. So one is fundamental concern, and the second thing is, you said it earlier, confidence, but it's more like believe that you can do it. And we I always pray when things become difficult. My prayer is always, let me do it according to your design. So I believe that how difficult it is, or however easy it is, it will happen according to God's design for me and for whatever I'm doing. And then it gives me strength, and it gives me courage to do what needs to be done. So yeah, you know your purpose, you believe, and then the third one is, you have to execute, right? You have to act. You have to get up in the morning and go get it. You have to hang out in that telecom company and don't go home and stay there, right? Those three have to come together. You have to know what you're doing. You have to believe that you can do it, and you have to execute. You have to act. And I think when you've got that sorted out, everything just flows fluently, smoothly for you. Yeah. I hope
I'd
that
like
helps.
to. Okay, go ahead.
For me is because you mentioned these three important, let's say, pillars of a growth mindset. First is the purpose, second is the belief, and the three of them are equally important that we have to do, right. We have to have, and just like what we mentioned to our kids, when I tell them they have to do it, I will do it, I can do it. I said your intention is so good, but don't stop there. Your willingness to do it, it's amazing, it's good, but you have to execute it. And I wonder what how come some people, they already know the purpose, they already know, they believe in themselves, but
Mm,
somehow struggles on the execution part.
mm,
Mhm.
mm.
Or it's just me?
No, no,
Or
no.
is
We do.
as
We do. Many people belong to that.
it's
Tayo rin. We do experience that.
what why do you think, what are the reasons why they fail to execute what they certainly believe that if they do this, they will be successful, and they know that this is their purpose. And we've heard a lot of people saying that to us. We've people share to us their struggles, but the last part is just do it. But somehow they
Yeah.
go back to an old mindset that no, but I cannot do it. So what are the struggles on why they're not executing it, and how they can overcome it? And this is something I want to listen right now.
Listen. You
Listen
want
to
to
right now.
learn?
How can they overcome such a big? Because I think if it's not that overwhelming, they'll be able to do it. But somehow they're overwhelmed. So,
Yes.
what are those limiting beliefs, and how they can overcome it? So they will execute.
Yes. I know you played basketball, and And I think because our audience are Filipinos, we were born playing basketball, right? And so I will take that analogy of a basketball. Um, in life, like in basketball, the number of baskets you make is a function of the number of shots you dare to take, right? So in the NBA, as you all know, um, an average of one basket is made for every three attempts. So you need to try three times in order to make a basket. And that's the statistics in NBA. So in business, we know that it takes six calls to close a sale. And you know this very well, Marvin, because you're a great salesperson. You're one of the greatest salesperson on earth. And I can attest to that. Okay. So it takes six calls to close a sale. The marketing rule of seven, and you, Jopai, knows this, tells us that the prospect needs to hear the advertising seven times, right? Or at least seven times before they will act on it. In the social media, this things has changed a bit, but we need more than seven times to rise above the clutter in all the feeds, right? So the thing is, be it 3, 7, or 70, the rule is you just have to keep on doing it. You just keep on taking a possession, taking a shot to get the score you want, right? So and in basketball, the more you shoot, the more you score, right? And and the more you do that, the closer you are to achieving what you want. So what I'm trying to say is you just have to try every day, right? And there are days that it's not gonna be how you want it to be. It's gonna be difficult, and you just have to try. Just like what you did, Marvin, when you were chasing that account, you were just there every day wanting to get that contract. Just go and try and try and try. And so, in short, there are bad days and there are good days. And when there are bad days, you just allow yourself that this is a bad day, and tomorrow is another day. Did I answer the question? I was just inspired by what you're saying, that sometimes this just doesn't happen, or sometimes you just don't pursue it. But what I'm trying to say is tomorrow is another day, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
the sun always
Yes.
shines tomorrow. It's a guarantee. It's a God's promise. The sun will shine tomorrow. Tomorrow may be the next day. Tomorrow may be next week, but it will be there. Did I answer
Right.
it, Marvin? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes. Basically, it's also like what you're saying is with the analogy of the basketball of shooting hoops and making a shot and making a point. It requires time and effort. So if you don't put time and effort into trying at least or doing the drills of shooting,
Yeah,
you won't get a point. So
yeah,
therefore, execute.
Yes. Execute is. I think Tina is also saying is be strategic. Um, Not to take it personal that take it
If
against you.
you don't succeed, yeah.
Yes, be strategic about it. Then if you need to do it three times, then at least in your first try, second try, you'll not be able to do it yet.
To
But
manage your expectations.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then keep on doing it, consistency, and not giving up, and not be affected by the failures. But for every failure that you think a failure is, it strengthens actually your skills. So every time you throw it, your muscles is being developed.
Right.
yeah,
Your
There's muscle memory
courage.
working.
Yes, that I can do it. I keep on doing it, or it doesn't matter anymore if I miss, because I will pursue it. I will make a basket.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like
yeah.
to go back, like taking this into like fleshing it out more. Um, Nina and Tina, you mentioned that your fundamental focus before your sons became men, and started working, your focus was to make sure that they became leaders and that they would be people who would make a difference, make an impact, be make something in the, create something important. How were you able to do that? Like what time and effort, what yeah, time and effort, and did you have to put into in your parenting to do that? Like what practical tips? Because it's really a good fundamental value, a fundamental focus or goal for parents. Like we want that for our sons. But
Yes. Yes.
how did you do it like on a daily basis? How did you keep on shooting, to make sure that you score the point in that goal, in that fundamental goal?
Yeah. So I think what the blessing that we have, or one thing that we were very sure of in the beginning, is we even when the kids were little, or they we prayed every night, right? And it could be a long prayer, a short prayer, but we pray every night. And we made it a practice. Up to now, the kids are in the university, they're not here anymore, but when they're home, um, we get together, and even if it's a short prayer or a long prayer, so it has become a tradition. So it's a prayer of thanksgiving. And when they were kids, when we were starting to pray, they start to talk about their lives and etc. and what's happened in school or something. So they that give us an insight of what's going on in their life. And because we started it quite early, I think, yeah, even when they, I think very early, even when they weren't able to talk yet, we will gather, the four of us, and we will just engage in the process, or the activity, or the act of praying together. So they grew up with it. And as you know, as kids grow up, right, they find their own path, and sometimes they don't want to pray anymore, and etc. But because we started that at an early age, it becomes a tradition. And sometimes they don't want to sit with us and pray because, like, they're 25 and 23. It's kind of look awkward for them to be sitting with your parents at some point, right? But because it has become a tradition, so we go sit every night when we're together. We pray very, 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 even if it's a short prayer or a long prayer, and that's what helped as a family. So it's like a process of reconnecting with each other at the end of each day. So now they're not here. One is in New York and one is in Vancouver. And whenever we have an opportunity to, say, when we have a call in the evening, we do have a quick prayer. It's not the long prayers that we used to have. It's just like a prayer of thanksgiving for being able to speak now, that everyone is safe. So what I'm trying to, I might have gone far from what you asked, but what I'm trying to say is what kept us together. The kids are now 25 and 21, but what kept us together is that we have that one moment every day when until now, one moment every day that we get together and say Thanksgiving. So prayer is very important for us. And even though sometimes they don't feel like doing it, they still do it because it's important for me that we pray together. And as a result of that process, it became important to them as well. And I pray that it's something that they do on their own when they're far away from us. Did I answer your question, Jobay? I think
Yeah.
I sorry everyone there.
No, no, no. It was good because you did give us examples, like when you were young, when they were young, and now that they're older. How do you actually practically use prayer to direct them, or
Yeah.
to make sure that they're set in the right direction?
I like what she
Yes.
said. One moment together. I think you will do it
One
again.
moment.
We always copy what you're doing.
Yeah, what we learned from you when we visited you in Hong Kong, and your children were really young at that time. I think they were like around 7, 8, 5. Was that you told us that you'd have one-on-one dates with your sons. You were the first person we heard that from. And Marvin has been very consistent in doing that with our sons. So I'm wondering, when you had one-on-ones with them, especially when they were, paano ba? How would you want to ask it? So you want to ask it like when they were young and how it progressed, or like when they were grown-ups?
What's relevant,
Ako
chat?
siguro, when they were tweens and
Uh,
teenagers, what were your discussions during your one-on-ones? Or how would it go? Like, wasn't it awkward? So how would you make it natural?
So, I think I start with, "Hey, what are you thankful about today?" And then that triggers a lot of discussion, and it kind of, in a way, maybe this is not the right word, but it kind of forces them to think, "What are you thankful about?" And they got to see the great things around them, even though it's a bad day at school or a bad day at sports. What are you thankful about? And the conversation would be, "What? Nothing. It's a really a bad day." And so, yeah, come, and then you kind of say, "Come on, just think of one thing." and then they mention like, oh, this guy did this so and so, and then it triggers all other thinking of what are they thankful about. So the what we found helpful with the kids was to start from a point of view of Thanksgiving, and it doesn't have to be big things. It could be only small thing. I'm thankful that I had my candy this morning, or I'm thankful that my teacher did not call me to recite because I wasn't prepared. So it's always, we took it always from a point of view of Thanksgiving and gratefulness, and as the kids grow up, they see different things and etc. But it always comes back to them that there is something to be thankful about, no matter how bad the day is, or no matter how grim the world is at the moment. And so I think what I did with my kids is to always put them in a state of Thanksgiving, and that opens a new kind of thinking for them each and every time, I hope.
Love
Yes.
that. The attitude of gratitude.
Yes, because especially teenagers, they will always, or most of the time, they will say they can't do it.
Yeah, they lean on their fixed mindset voice.
Yes,
It's very
because
strong.
it's still something that needs to be developed, and then uh, it's like it's not they're challenging us that it can happen to them or what. It's just that they're still developing that strong growth mindset. But to hear them, sometimes they keep on saying, "I can do this. I'll not be able to do this." I don't know if you encounter it with your children while they were growing up and they were still kids. But in case you did, how do you help them get out of that, let's say, mindset,
Fixed mindset.
fixed mindset, and help them to have this growth mindset? Because we cannot force it. We cannot say,
Mm,
no, just believe. You'll be able to do it. But
yeah.
I guess there's something that we need to do as parents on how to help them uh, develop their growth mindset.
Mm. I think seeing is believing, right? And for young people, they need to see it in you. And sometimes we all have our challenges as well as adults or older people, right? But they have to see in you that they need to see in you the growth mindset, that there is a tomorrow, there is a bright tomorrow. And I think especially this time, right? Here in Singapore or in the Philippines, for example, everybody is in quarantine right now. We can't do what we want to do, and it affects the mind, right? But if you show the young people or the kids that this is a temporary thing, and you're in a state of joy on the little things that are happening to you, I think they pick it up. And that's what I think even for big people, right? And I think you guys do it. You, Joppa, you, Marvin, you're always joyful, no matter what the situation. I saw you guys when you were going to move, when the job was so and so, but you're always joyful, and that's a source of inspiration for me as well. And so I think for us, life is not perfect. It's just that we have to be joyful or happy with what we are. And there are days that we're not, right? Like maybe today is a bad day, and just think that tomorrow is another day. And I think if you tell young people like that, or your colleagues at work, or your friends, right? There are days like this, but tomorrow is a different day. Tomorrow is a brighter day, and you just have to believe that. And you know what? It always is a better day tomorrow. You know, always.
The sun always comes out
I think we
tomorrow.
should be talking to Tina every day now.
She might be too busy. I want to ask a question, like as a mom or as a parent. Um, I'm sure you've had, fixed mindset voices speaking to you. So, what has been the most recent one? And how were you able to cross over into turning it into a growth mindset voice?
I guess it's from a movie. I forgot, but the sun always shines tomorrow, and
Annie,
and there. Oh, is it?
the sun will come out tomorrow.
Wow.
At your
Yeah.
bottom down.
Learn that tomorrow there'll be sun, right? So the sun always shines tomorrow, and there will be always better days, and you just have to hang in there. And I think this is especially true at this time, right? When people are cooped up in their houses, can't go out, can't see their friends. It's a difficult time, and we just have to say that the sun will shine tomorrow. And our tool is you, and I think you guys do it. You always end the day in prayer, and sometimes it's difficult to pray when times are hard, but you just have to, force yourself to pray and be always in a state of thanksgiving, and just and just enumerate all the good things that happen in this world. And also that's one of our strategies. Well, I call it strategies, but those are one of the things that we did when the boys were growing up, right? We even up to now, we pray every night, no matter how short it is, whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But we started, what are the things that you're thankful for today? And when they were kids, they were forced to think, what are the things that they're thankful for? And now, in this time, and especially at this stage, it's really, really, really valuable to just sit there and say, and just make a list of the 5 things that happened today that you are thankful for. And that gets you through the next day and the next day and the next day. And one of these days, all those things that you're thankful for becomes a treasure chest that you could use to get something really, really big. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
a good point. Why don't we ask those who are joining us today, what are you thankful for? Right?
Yes.
If you can share with us, type it in the chat box and we'll read it aloud so we can be encouraged as well. So, what are you thankful for now,
Yeah.
Marvin?
Well, I'm thankful for Tina.
Oh, yes,
For
I agree.
so I'm just recalling we met probably 1999 in iQuest, and it's already 2021. But how she is now, she was already like that even then, even before. So to have this kind of mentality, it's a strong mindset. It's not something that a simple storm will make her fearful, but rather she's consistent. Ever since we met her, parang how to develop this kind of strong mindset. Kasi you're telling us, be grateful. Just going to the state of gratefulness, thanksgiving, prayer. And just like what you said, sometimes it's not easy to pray, even especially when you're struggling or you're down, but you just pray. And for me, that's a powerful or your inner strength. If you don't have it, it's really be difficult to do it. But you have maintained your strong mindset for so long. What's the secret? Or you have already mentioned it, like you keep on doing it. But what's the secret? How can we or the others, especially the, let's say, the young parents, how can they have this strong mindset when they're struggling with their children, when they're struggling with their finances? Is it something that you just born with, or it's something that you can practice?
It's something that you can practice, right? And as you said, it's always being in the state of gratefulness. And we've done this. We've practiced this before, right? It's what you see, what you think is what happens to you. So if you see that it's a cloudy day today, even though there's the sun out there, then it's a cloudy day for you. So it's what you see. So you choose what you see. You surround yourselves with positive things, or things that will energize you and lift you to a certain level. If you surround your stuff, your things with thoughts, people that will pull you down, it's going to be difficult for you to get up, right? But also, there are people who will pull you down, but you can't take them out of your life, right? Because maybe they're your best friend, or they're your relatives, right? So what do you do with those? So you try your best to lift them up as well, right? And sometimes it won't work, but you just have to try. And the thing is, you can't you can't escape them because they are part of you, right? They're your family, your friends that you can't let go of your life. But as much as possible, you strengthen yourself with all the positive things that have been given to you, and that is your shield, and that shield, or that 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 spirit of positivity and grace, you see it in your mind, it will reach out to other people around you. So I'm not sure if I'm yeah, so basically I think the trick is to be as positive, as grateful, and as enjoying as you can, right? And there are those little things that are around you that will not be that. Just try, but don't let them get inside the positivity that you are in the. But on the other hand, let them get into the sphere of your positivity. Um, did I say? We can discuss this more for hours. I would love to.
Yeah, it's like
But
you're, I think, like, to summarize it, it's like you're saying that our lives, we have a choice. We can put up a gate, and we should choose what we allow, the things that we allow to go through the gate. And there are things that, so that is like positive things. And like the gate can be the people, our support system, who directs us, who gives us the strength to be positive, or a source of positivity. However, as you said, there are people who are, surrounding you, that you can't really do away with them, like
Yes.
family, family or circumstances. And therefore your gate is, how strong you build your gate is very important. And our gate is built by relationships, influences, prayer, faith, and gratitude.
yes,
Yes. You
yes,
know,
I
yeah.
like that. Thank you.
we
Thank
have
you.
we had several guests already who shared to us how to be grateful, how to be strong mentally, and whenever I recall them now, I can see Tina. Oh, she's a perfect example of who on how to do it, and it's not. I'm saying this is for everybody to know that it's not impossible. It's not a theoretical or just an idea that it can be done, or maybe somewhere nice to say, but actually it can happen in their lives as well. They can do it. It's something that you just need to, just like Tina said, surround also you find your tribe, just like what we mentioned before. Find your people who is going to really support you no matter what, and they're the one who has the key to your inner voice, to your inner sanctuary, that others you shouldn't let in. But yes, so uh, ang natutunan ko din is about growth mindset. You have to take care of it.
Mhm.
It will
Mm.
not, once you have it, it's good, but it doesn't mean you should stop. You should keep on strengthening it, and you cannot do it on your own. Just like what I've learned from Tina, you have to find the people around you who will help you strengthen that gate. Tama ba? Ang sarap ng pinag-uusapan natin.
Let's see. Some people have shared what they are grateful for. It's here. April Lungay, our friend from Singapore. But is she in Singapore? I think she went back to Singapore. Thankful for this inspiring interview. Thank you, April, for joining us. And that's very
Yes, a
encouraging.
young mom.
Yeah, she's a young mom, a new mom. And JR, yeah, and JR said he's grateful for the gift of life and waking up every single day. Yeah, that's something many of us take, we take it for granted that we're alive and we're awake. We forget it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Every breath is a blessing. And our friend Coach JC would say every gising is a blessing.
Yes.
Yeah, and AG Ong Talamayan said she's thankful for the new addition to her family. She's currently pregnant, right? And she's expecting to give birth.
Yes. Ayan. Uh, we still want to ask so many things. Actually, something, are you prepared for it? You have to prepare for it.
What?
Because Tina is connected to her sons until now. They're already in their 20s. And we're always uh, figuring out when they grow up, when they're in their 20s, will they still call us? Will they still maintain a communication? And just like what you said, it can be done because they're talking to each other, at least even for 5 or 10 minutes. They talk to each other. Are you ready?
Well, as Tina said, I do try to, plant the seeds now.
Mhm.
And I'm very inspired by what she said, prayers, and that helped with them. And we're
Yeah.
doing that. We do pray with them. We do talk to them about faith. We do try to encourage them. We speak to them about things that they should focus on, things that matter. So hopefully what we do in our relationship and the time that we spend with them, would make a difference in the future. It's kind of like a walk of faith because you
Yes,
never know. But looking at Tina and
it can
how
be done.
she did it, that's what she did, and we're trying to do the same, then hopefully it will turn out right. But with prayer, right? How can we go wrong with prayer?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and yeah, you're right. And so we prayed every night when they were kids, and as they grow older, they kind of, as most young people would feel that, oh, I don't need to pray every night, or my parents are not cool, and etc. And you don't give in to that, right? You just say, come on, just do it for me. And their dad would say, just do it for your mom, just do it as a favor. And you can start with that. You take what you can get, and then at some point they will come back, right? And they will go away, but they will always come back. And then, so that's what I was trying to say. In the family, you just, there are things that that you are, that you give into, and there are things that you keep. And for us, praying every night when we are together, no matter how short it is a way to connect. And at some point, especially boys, uh, and I think in our own journey as well, right? I, as a faithful, there were times in my life that I went away, right? But you just need to be able to have a place where they can come back when they go away, and that's what we're trying to provide, right? So whenever we are together, no matter how short the prayer is, or no matter how long it is, we pray every night, even now that they're like really grown up. And it's like, sometimes the dad would say, "Ah, come on, just do it for your mom," and it's okay. I'm happy with that. I can take
I
that.
say that also.
She's your mom. Why not just do it? Come on. That's what also Marvin. I would hear Marvin say that, or we would say, "Come on, we're your parents. Just do it."
No, with you, because I'm teaching the boys to, I don't want to hear your mommy begging for you to do something. When she
Mm,
says something, just do it.
yeah,
I don't want to hear Jopay, your mommy asking, please, 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 please. No, I said just do it,
mm,
because when you
yeah,
grow up, it's something I
mm,
expect you to do as our son, to make sure that you serve your mother. I don't mind you don't serve me, but your mom, it's given. You have to serve your mother.
Yes, Habanagel.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yes. I just recall because Tina said about looking forward to the brighter future, and parang it affirms me because actually Paulo said something very powerful to us without him knowing it, but we told him already. And it's about thinking this growth mindset. He said it. He mentioned it. So when we were walking and it was about to rain, and a dark cloud was forming at our back, and Nicolo, he doesn't like rain. He was so worried. He kept on looking back. He kept on yeah, just looking back, and then you would see in his face that he's worried, he's anxious, he's scared. And Paolo noticed him that he keep on
mm,
looking back, and he said to his brother, he said, "Nicolo, stop." And he said, "Stop! Don't look back anymore. Don't look behind, because that's not where we're going. We're going in front. And look at the clouds in front of us. It's so bright. So just keep on looking." And then Nicolo said, "But it's about to rain." But yes, it's not important. It's important where you're going right now. We're not going to the rain. We're going to the brighter side. It's like, wow. So
Yeah,
for me, wow, something that
yeah,
he said it on his own, and I guess I'm touched. I just remember again because I mentioned it before, but I remembered again. So maybe we're already planting some strong seeds. That's it.
I'm, I'm sure he picked up from you at some point, because kids are very good in putting together things. So whatever he said that day, he picked it up from you at some point, and it just clicked at that moment for him. Don't look back, just move forward.
Yeah, which
Because
thinking about that, like as parents, we should be careful and mindful with what are we throwing, or what are we, how do you say it, like what kind of energy, what kind of message are we expressing or saying, or sharing with our children, because as Nina Tina says, they pick it up. So
Yes.
we have to be mindful. If it's always complaints, negativity, fear, anxiety, then they pick it up. But we can always choose to lay down a path of positivity, a seed of faith, a seed of courage here and there, or a seed of possibility. I like what
Yes.
Nina and Tina said. She said, like, make sure there is a safe place for them to come back to, which to think about a growth mindset, right? Because a growth mindset doesn't say you have to be perfect. A growth
mm,
mindset allows us to accept, our weaknesses, and to see it as a stepping stone for growth, to move forward, like to do better a different day. So it's important to have a soft place to fall, a place where you can
yep,
accept your weaknesses or the negative things, and use that to move forward. Say, okay, this is okay. I'm not good at this, or we're not good at this, or we're facing this challenge. But there's always a but. We shift the narrative into something that would grow us into positivity, or move us into better action.
Yes.
Right?
Congratulations. You're doing a great job as a mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so good to learn from you, Nina Tina.
All interaction we have with you is really something that we keep to our hearts. We always remember, even the simple one. Remember when we visited you in Hong Kong, I think one of your sons wanted something, and you said, okay, but present to me. Prepare a presentation on why you want it. And then I think he did, right? And then we remember that, and we are doing it with
Yeah, we
our
do that. We
children
do that.
as well.
yeah,
So why do you need
yeah,
a new phone?
yes,
So
exactly. And yeah, yeah, I think you're doing it very well as well. That you have to put the responsibility as well to the other party, because you do it in business, right? You give your staff, the people who work for you, responsibility on something happening, and it's the same with the children, with our children, no matter at what stage they are in their lives. And I think a lot of young people, especially the ones who are in the audience or expecting a baby, they kind of know it, that you have to give ownership of whatever it is to the other person. And for our children, it's very important, right? And I think uh, there's something that I always remember, and the sad thing is it happened to me later in my path as a mom, right, in parenthood. But I wish I knew this a lot earlier. That um, it is not important that I am right. It is important that everybody gets it right. And I think if you look at it, when we were kids, or the way we were raised up, especially in the Philippines, that there is one that the parents have to be right all the time, right? So it is important that everybody gets it right. And for children, it might be a longer journey, but if we all get it right, then we're in the journey together. And yeah, I learned it a little bit later in my parenthood, but nothing's ever late.
Important that we put
get it
it
right.
to
Yes.
everybody.
Yes. Wow. Hopefully this is not our last conversation this year. We hope we'll get in touch again more often, and we want to really thank you so much. If we count or we list down our top influencers. I think Tina is on top.
Definitely.
Our top influencer. You have influenced us so much in our way of thinking, in our career, in our parenting. We got it from you and Michael because we look after. How do you say that?
Look up.
We look up to you and Michael, and we are seeing that it's possible. It's possible that children will remain respectful, children will be successful, children will maintain their good relationship with their parents. Because sometimes we hear so much that that's not going to happen anymore. This is a 21st century, a 22nd century. It will not happen anymore. But I know it can happen, and this is because of people like you and Michael. You're raising your two sons, and how we wish when they reach 25, 20s, in their 20s, they'll remain just like your children,
Mm.
close with their parents
And
Oh,
purposeful people.
and purposeful people and that's serving other people. It's not just you're
yeah.
successful on your own or successful in your family, but you're reaching out to other people like us.
Mm.
Wow.
Well, you guys are doing very well. You're spending time with this kind of conversation when you can spend time doing other stuff, right? You've been doing this for a long time, and that's a testament to what you are really as people. And I'm sure you've affected a lot of lives. You've influenced a lot of minds, and that's something really great. And I admire you both for your tenacity, your perseverance, your dedication, and I'm always there to support you. And you're doing a great job with your community. And yeah, you're very generous of your time, your talent, and everything. You spend your life on this one, and that is something to that's something really admirable. And you should keep on doing that because I know you're affecting lives, including mine. You're my idols. I wish I would be.
Thank you so much.
Such a treasure trove of words that we will keep for a lifetime.
Yes, we need that. We need
We do
encouragement.
that. We thank you for the
Yeah.
encouragement. It's so
Yes.
good.
So it's 1 hour now. It's so
Yeah,
fast.
but we know that Marvin has described your work, and so like let's say there is a startup company in the aviation industry, or a group who needs a speaker about women leadership, entrepreneurship, or even mentorship. Where can people reach you if they want to get in touch with you to you know to learn more from you or work with you? How can they reach you?
Sure. You can reach me on LinkedIn, Tina Di Chico, and for people there who want to enter the startup space, I am involved in the startup space. For people who want to enter aviation, tourism, marketing, which is not happening right now, but will happen very soon, do get in touch with me. I'm a mentor with a number of organizations, especially in the startup space. Um, I'm I'm happy to engage in a conversation, and I'm happy to just to have just to tell you what's going out there. What I do is I consult for startup companies here in the Philippines and in Germany and in Asia. Um, and we on a limited basis we also invest on startups. So if you're in this area, I'm happy to help. I'm happy to lead you to the right people. And yeah, there's so many possibilities out there, and there's so many opportunities for people are who want to help people or who want to change life for the better for a lot of people or even for a few people. And yeah, happy to connect with anybody who wants to be in the startup space, new ideas and all that stuff, and happy to connect you with those stuff as well, you know. And
Yes.
and you guys are doing a fantastic job. You really are. You never you didn't stop. You never stop. You always persevere to do this, influence people, influence lives, and yeah, make families together. I think that's what you do to keep families together. And I think that's really a noble calling.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you,
feel
thank
you
you.
feel good whenever you talk to Tina.
Yes, and it's what, and the reason why we do this is basically what you've been mentioning throughout our discussion. It's prayer. Prayer directs us. Our relationship with God directs us to keep on doing this. Yeah.
Yes.
And with that, we want to invite you to please pray for those who have joined us, those who will still watch this later on replay, and even those who will see us on YouTube. May we invite you, Nina and Tina, to pray. Say a prayer for all parents and educators.
Yeah, dear God, we thank you for this opportunity to gather together. When one or two are gathered together in your name, there you are in their midst, and we know that you are here among us. Those who are in this session, those who are watching later on, we ask that you bless everyone who are in this conversation. You bless their work, their families, their thinking, their minds, the situation they are in. Please bless their house, the people that they work with, and their offices. Always surround them with your love and generosity and care. And we ask that you always guide our minds. These are extraordinary times, and call for extraordinary prayers and extraordinary people. And we ask, we pray that you make us those kind of people who will do things that will make lives easier, more meaningful for others. We thank you for Marvin and Jovi and their community and the people who are here with us today, for making this conversation happen. If we affect one or two people, that is an amazing work already. But we ask that you allow us to affect other people to be together, gathered in your name, and do things in your name and affect lives in the most positive way. We ask that you bless this conversation and everything that will happen around it. We ask that you bless people who have listened, are listening, and will listen. And we ask this in the name of Jesus, our Lord. Amen. In the name of the
Amen.
Father, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And thank you so much for your time and your wisdom.
We're
And
very honored by your presence.
yes. So, what's
We,
your message for? Yeah.
I am so honored being friends with you, and I am really, really honored. You know, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
And
Bless.
because we are blessed, we are sharing you to the world, to the Turo world. We
Yes.
thank you. And
Yes.
we
Thank you.
also thank all those who joined us today and who will watch us on replay. And we want you to remember that um, the children, your children are champions. Okay? You may not see it now, but open your eyes and
Yes.
see,
Keep on believing.
yeah, believe in them. And since your children are champions, you are champion
Yes. Can I say
makers.
something about champions?
Sure.
Just a short about basketball, no? Because you believe in your children as champions. The NBA champions right now are the Milwaukee Bucks, and because of their the best player in there, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Yanis has two brothers, Costas, and then I forgot the other one. He has four, actually three brothers, but two of them are also NBA champions already, and they're the first, I think, siblings to have siblings to get a championship in NBA. But their life when they started, they were actually selling rip-off watches in Greece. Imagine. But their parents kept on believing in them. Their parents believing that they will have a brighter future ahead of them. And look at them now, champions and multimillionaires. So anyway, so that's a message.
NBA influence.
Believe in your children because when you believe in them, they will believe in what their possibility as well. Look forward and look ahead. God bless you and see you again next week. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Thank you,
Tina.
Tina.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you at the backstage. Don't leave.
Thank you.